Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Capricorn March 2, 2023. You're ready to take on challenges without further thought today, but remember that a bit of circumspection and strategy can go a long way now. A solid plan to go by may not be in place. Watch for taking things too far, particularly with communications and decisions. You're generally more willing to offer advice and speak about personal plans and goals with Mercury in your sign these days, as you enjoy the feedback you receive from others. However, something can feel exaggerated or magnified in either an optimistic or pessimistic direction right now. Aim to take your time coming to conclusions and especially making promises. You are a dreamer. You are one of the zodiac signs with some of the most far-reaching hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Luckily, during certain periods in time, it is easier to see them manifest before you. However, the most crucial moment is when you begin a new journey and plant a seed. This can be a decision, a promise, or an agreement that requires you to take action. In manifestation, action is the most crucial turning point because it reveals your declaration of intent to the universe. Take heed of this message and strike while everything is aligned. What will help you live a more fulfilling work and life? Although you may prefer to remain somewhat detached from your work routine or your habits, the domicile moon in Cancer will encourage otherwise. The intuitive moon is your cosmic cue to be a little more emotionally invested in your work life. Reflect on what will help you feel productive, secure, and level-headed at work. It might be time to nip some habits in the bud that cause emotional distress while focusing on other aspects of your work life that allow you to feel more stable. Just having the moon return to your work sector in the heart of the working week was going to be an advantage, and especially as it is not only the last visit before Mars returns but the only visit while the Sun is in your income sector. While this kicks off a positive few days across the income, work and career fronts, by the time the moon leaves, the resources on the income front will have increased. It could feel challenging to express yourself spontaneously today. With the current celestial atmosphere, you're probably not going to get your way no matter how hard you try. In fact, trying hard is futile in this sort of configuration. It's best to just take the easy route. Stick to your usual routine and wait this one out. It's important to get a little exercise so the frustrated energy gets released as quickly as it appears. Be sure you keep your motivation and perspective clear. With the high energy and top speed that often comes with this day, it can be easier to lose your way than on other days. Further, a hunger for competition can bring unwanted complications if you aren't careful to keep your wits about you. If need be, go over your objectives and schedule so you can stay on track. Focused properly, this vibration can see you get things started on the right foot. After nearly 3 years, Saturn moves into his final 7 days in Aquarius today, with an end now in sight when it comes to the hard work required to lay down the foundations for a 3-decade-long Saturn cycle that began back in 2020. At the same time, 7 days ahead of Saturn's return to your income sector, and with Mercury just 2 days away, the moon makes a timely return to your work sector. This kicks off a positive few days across the income, work, and career fronts that are just a taste of things to come. As the moon wraps up its last visit to your romantic sector before Mars leaves, holding on to these romantically charged lunar vibes will be relatively easy but also incredibly important. This has added more fuel to Mars' romantic passions and fighting spirit while giving you the determination to make his remaining weeks here count. Our eyes in the sky. The current placement of the moon in Gemini may be causing some disruptions to our sleep patterns. If you're finding it difficult to get a good night's rest, you might also be affected by an unbalanced aspect between the moon and Venus, which could leave you feeling even more fatigued in the morning. As the day progresses, you may notice a scattered or unfocused vibe, particularly during the first part of the day, when the moon and Mercury are in an off-kilter connection. This could lead to feelings of disorganization and confusion, making it harder to stay on top of your daily responsibilities. If you're struggling with this scattered energy, it's important to take a step back and reassess your priorities. Consider reassigning any tasks that can wait until another day, or breaking them down into smaller, more manageable chunks. By taking the time to regroup and prioritize, you can help ensure that you're making the most of your day, despite any astrological influences. As the sun rises, the moon in Gemini comes into a challenging square aspect with Neptune in Pisces, which can leave us feeling vulnerable and unfocused. This combination is a recipe for confusion, making it all too easy to fall for deceptive sales pitches or be talked into taking part in unfavorable deals. It's essential to be extra cautious during this time, especially when it comes to signing contracts or making any binding agreements. Double and triple check the fine print to avoid any hidden clauses or ambiguous wording that could cause problems down the line. It might even be wise to postpone negotiations entirely until you feel more confident and clear-headed. Instead, this transit is perfect for low-stakes discussions or speculation that don't require immediate decisions. Avoid making any major moves or commitments and focus on gathering information and assessing your options. By taking a step back and approaching things with a level head, you can minimize your risk and protect yourself from any potential harm. You will handle financial matters with your usual aplomb today and should consider different types of investments. A good idea can mean a successful future. Even if you are just looking for bargains, you'll be able to distinguish between good and bad offers. Take advantage of them before someone else does. As we move towards midday, the moon forms a harmonious trine aspect with Mercury in Aquarius, which can bring a sense of clarity and perspective to our situation. This newfound lucidity allows us to see through any attempts to deceive or manipulate us, and we can now identify those who have been acting in bad faith. However, instead of getting caught up in feelings of anger or betrayal, we choose to focus on moving forward and conserving our energy. We recognize that we have dodged a bullet and elect not to waste any more time dealing with negative influences or energy vampires. Through these experiences, we are also able to see who our true friends and allies are, and we can turn to them for support and guidance. Conversations with those in our support systems can be incredibly helpful during this time, as we share our feelings without becoming overly emotional and help others with their problems by offering sound advice. By remaining level-headed and focused on our goals, we can extricate ourselves from any sticky situations and move forward with renewed clarity and purpose.